Good afternoon, everyone. This is Brent Waller. I'm the Director of Residence Life, and I believe I have Mary Elliott, our Associate Director, online. If Mary could say hello.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to talk to you all.
Awesome. So Mary and I are going to talk to you a little about residence life and living in your community. If you're not able to stay through the entire presentation, you can also find this recording on our website a little bit later on, and we'll send the link out to everyone so that they have it. But we'll put it at residencelife.minds.edu so that everyone can either go back and check the information or they can re-watch the information that they missed. So we hope that you find some helpful information as we talk through living on campus and whatnot. So here we go. So we'll jump in. Just a quick plug here. We're having a little social media contest today. So again, we'll have, if you follow us on Karl School of Minds Facebook page or Twitter at Minds Res Life, also you can use Pinterest, and you can also use our Instagram account as well. Use the hashtag MindsLife, Class of 2020, or Minds Orientation. And if you say something fun, or you say something, or you show us a picture of you later on, or something along those lines, we'll reward the best picture today with something fun from the bookstore when you arrive here on campus. Just a quick overview of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about us a little bit, talk about our programs and what we do, the safety on campus, billing, move-in, dining, and a little bit of other information as we kind of work through what it's like to live here in community on campus. So again, our staff includes the Director of Housing, which is myself. We have the Associate Director, which is Mary. She oversees everything that's, once you've moved into housing, she oversees everything from a Residence Life Coordinator to a Resident Assistant to a Hall Director. Those are the staff members that you'll interact with most as you're living here on campus. Then you also have Assistant Director of Residence Life, Amy Bachet. She does everything with our housing and operations. She does a lot of our marketing efforts. She does a lot of our housing assignments, everything that's included to get you here to campus. And then Residence Life Coordinators are an integral part of our campus community here. So we have Bryce Bleem, who's for the traditional halls. We have Eric Buell, who's for Weaver Towers and Elm Hall. We have Emily Nemchuk, who's with Maple and Aspen Hall, and Kevin Caputo, who's with our upper class students and graduate students at Minds Park. Those Residence Life Coordinators are live-in staff members, full-time professional staff members here. Typically, they've earned a master's degree in higher education administration or college student development. They also live here on campus as well, so they're very connected to you as residents, very connected with our student staff, and can be a good resource for you while you're living here on campus. Parents and family members can also be a good connection for you as well. If you have any questions about specifically something about the building or something along those lines, feel free to contact the Residence Life Coordinators once you've moved in, and you have any questions thereafter, they can be a good resource. We also have our administrative staff, Debbie Pretz, Jackie Garamoni, and Marianne Kozar. They are very helpful in terms of making sure that things are happening, and can be a good resource for you as well once you move into the housing areas. If you have any questions about your housing assignments and things like that, Jackie Garamoni is our housing assignments coordinator and also can be very helpful for clarifying anything about your housing assignment. We also have various student staff members in total between our hall directors, our community directors, and our resident assistants. Along with our desk assistants, we're well over about 120 staff members that are here to serve you and support you as well. So every student will be assigned a hall director, that the specific residence hall that they're living in, and then every resident assistant, or every resident will have a resident assistant assigned to them as well. And so the resident assistant is the most one of the more integral staff members in terms of being able to work with you on a daily basis, and so they'll be living with you on the floor or in your particular area, and they'll be a good resource, mentor, advisor, leader for you to tap into as you live here on campus. So just a little bit about us. We believe in learning through living at Minds. One of the biggest things is that we do believe that you're going to learn outside of the classroom by living here on campus, and through that, we do that through making sure that you're encouraged to participate in the community. We also truly believe in serving others. That's good community service, that's good customer service, it's everything you can expect from us or have an opportunity to be a part of. We provide very inclusive communities where people feel like that they matter, and so we want to make sure that everyone feels connected here and feels like they matter here in our communities. We're also going to be a place of personal and educational growth. We'll have a lot of engaging activities. We spend a lot of time training our staff and making sure that they're a good resource for you. They are well equipped for all kinds of situations and scenarios, and so we want you to know we spend a lot of time making sure that we have well-trained staff. And just as a reminder, research shows here at Mines that when you live here on campus, you're going to have a higher GPA, typically, and then versus off-campus commuter students, and then also a higher retention rate. And then overall, you have a higher satisfaction after your 4 to 5 years here on campus by just living here on campus this 1 year. And so we're really excited that you've chosen to live here on campus, and we think that you'll be very successful by doing so. I'll hand it over to Mary to talk about what's in your room.
Okay, so we wanted to just be really clear so you could plan ahead with what you're going to bring to campus. There is a list on the movein.mines.edu website, so please go to that. It's a checklist. You can check mark boxes, those sorts of things, and make sure that you have everything that you need to be successful here. We do have high-speed internet. We have both wired and wireless, so we suggest, because there's so many people on the wireless internet, please bring an Ethernet cord with you. There are times that you may be downloading stuff or streaming movies or playing video games, and sometimes, not that you don't do that all the time, you have to study, but you will want to be wired at some of those points. It just moves a little faster. There's a lot of wireless places where there's a lot of people on it, so just be courteous of the folks around you. We also have a TV service, which is our Philo service. You can see the website right here on your screen. If you have any questions about that, there's lots of information on that website. But we do stream live TV. We also have HBO as a part of that package, so you can stream it to any of your devices, like a tablet, a laptop, those sorts of things, just by clicking onto the website. To stream it onto a television set, you'll need another piece of equipment. So you'll need either a Roku, the Roku 3, which can be plugged into the wall and make it your internet or make your TV access a little faster. So get one that can be plugged into the TV, or an Apple TV that can be also plugged in through an Ethernet cord. Those are what we suggest. You also have an extra long twin bed, so when you're thinking about your linens and things that you want to bring, please get the correct length, because nothing is worse than not having sheets that fit on your bed. Other furniture, everyone will have a desk chair. You have a wardrobe in your room or a closet, a bookshelf, a dresser. You'll also have recycle bins and trash bins. Those beds are loftable, all of them. You can go ahead, you can bunk them if you choose, although those are more limited, but every bed is loftable, so to give you extra space in your room. Okay, we're going to move on next. Brent's in charge of pushing the next button. All right. These are different opportunities that you'll have. So we have an arrangement with Bed Bath & Beyond. So August 16th and the 18th, which is our two big move-in days. For August 16th, a lot of our international students and our deemed learning communities will be moving in that day, and then the rest of the students will be moving in on the 18th. So the entire store, you don't need those little coupons at Bed Bath & Beyond, but if you're looking for last-minute things, at the Colorado Mills location of Bed Bath & Beyond, they have 20% off the entire store for Mines students, so you'll just show them your ID. We also have a linen program here. It helps support the efforts of the residential Residence Hall Association. So this is a fundraising system for us, but it also provides an easy way for you all to get linens, lots of things for your room, decorations for your room. That website is listed right there. If you would like to order from them, they will send it right here to campus, so it'll be waiting for you when you move in. Also, we have this microfridge rental or purchase program. You can purchase the microfridge from them, or you can just rent it for the year if you're not certain that you're going to want a small fridge for the rest of the time you're at school. You can certainly rent it from them at that website as well. Okay, so this kind of gives you, if you haven't been to this website yet, as this is a part of our ResLife website, so just go to this URL right here. And this is kind of unique. It shows every single room on campus that you could be living in. So you can find your space, an example of what your space would look like and what is in it, and so you can figure out the dimensions if you need to figure that out. It's a unique way to kind of, you can move those furnitures around, figure out how to do your room up nice. In addition to your rooms, we also have front desks at every building. So every community has a front desk, and you'll be able to, so you don't need to bring with you things like vacuum cleaners, cleaning supplies. We have those available for you. You just need to actually come check them out and then clean your room. So we also have games. A lot of people check those out and will play in the lounges, things like that. Tools if you want to use them, and this is also where you'll get your mail. So you'll come and you'll get your mail at your front desk. The mailing address is on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. So all you have to do is your first name and last name and then your hall and room number are the things that you fill in. Everything else is available for you right there. Packages can start arriving on the 12th, so if you are mailing things to us, please do not mail them to arrive before the 12th. We cannot accept them. We just don't have the space. So after the 12th we will be able to, so if you want to send things ahead, you are welcome to after the 12th. So next I'm going to talk about our activities and programs that await you when you come here. Every one of our RAs, so each one of you as a student has an RA who's kind of your mentor, who's meant to be a role model and someone who helps us in the halls to support you. And they also host programs during the semester, lots of different kinds. They're educational, they're social, so sometimes it's like a baseball game, sometimes it's talking through an educational component or maybe reading a book together. We also have lots of recreational opportunities and you'll play IMs together as a floor, things like that. There will also be community service opportunities, and we talk about social justice here. So current events, things that are going on in the world, you'll have a chance and you'll actually be challenged to have a conversation about those while you're living with us. In addition to your RAs, this Residence Hall Association hosts up to 20 programs a year. And those are bigger, kind of all-campus programs. We have concerts, we host a casino night every year, you'll have a movie night every once in a while. We do all sorts of things. Sometimes we'll go to plays. The first thing we're planning right now is a Quidditch tournament that'll take place in mid-September. So all sorts of things to really engage you and make sure that you're having a good time while you're here in addition to studying. Parents and families, we have some programs for you. They're not as fun as the ones I just listed, but they are, we do send out things like a newsletter, and we update our website to make sure that you're well informed. But we really consider you our partners in supporting your student. It's not, you don't just drop them off and we're their parent from this point on. You drop them off and then we work together in partnership to support your student and make sure that they're successful. We concentrate solely on their development. We want to make sure that each person comes out of Mines and comes out of living with us in the halls an even more capable, more confident student. So please help us empower them. That means you, instead of you asking questions, send your student to ask questions. It's an important skill for them to build in terms of learning to advocate and empower and being empowered themselves. But please go to that website. We keep that updated for you so that you have the most up-to-date information that we can give you. FERPA is one of the laws that talks about privacy for our students, and we stick to this law pretty strictly. And what you need to know about it is that we will share your student information with you if we are worried about their health and safety or worried about another student being impacted by them. So there are times we will call you if we're worried about your student, and please feel free to call us if you're worried about your student. Again, we want to partner with you to make sure that they're doing okay. But otherwise, there's some information we can't share with you, so please go through your student to make sure that you have the most the important information that we're giving to them as they are the adult in our relationship. So all those times are when you can expect to be contacted, but please feel free to contact us if you have questions. We will share with you what we can, and we'll be able to talk through anything with you. Okay, Brent's going to pick up now. I'm talking about safety.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. So we're going to talk about safety on campus. We take this very seriously as well. We want to make sure that you feel safe while living here on campus. And so we do a 24-hour lockdown of all of our residence hall areas where the actual residents live. And the way that you get into your actual building is using your Blaster Card ID. I believe one of the questions I saw in the chat box was, how do I get an ID and when can I get that? You can get that made when you move here on campus. Just come over to the campus living office and you get your blaster card photo taken and they'll print out your ID. So that's how you'll get into all your buildings. And then to get in your actual room, you'll actually use your room key. If you're living in a suite, you'll actually be given a suite key, and then you'll actually be given a room key. So you have all different ways to make sure that, again, your space is safe. We also want to make sure that you know that we have student staff on call after hours every day that we have residents living in the building. We also have residence life coordinators that are on call 24/7, 365 days a year. And just as a reminder, those are those professional staff members that are living on campus within your building and working on campus inside your building as well. And so please know that we have lots of support. We additionally have more support. Myself, Mary Elliott, and Amy Bachet are also on call to provide support and safety here on campus as well. We work very closely with our Mines Police Department, and again, they're around campus 24/7, 365 days a year. They take a very community-centered policing model, and so you'll see them walking through the building. Just because they're in the building doesn't mean something's going down. It might mean that they're just wanting to stop by and say hello and get to know you a little bit. So we'll see them at programs, at activities, and we also want to make sure that you know that we have a lot of support here on campus. We also need your buy-in when it comes to personal safety and safety here on campus. So if you see something, you hear something, you notice something, we need you to report those things to us. And so it also means that you've got to take on some sort of approach to make sure that, again, you keep your items safe inside of your bedroom. So locking your door, or making sure that someone that's not supposed to be in the building isn't walking in right behind you. So making sure that, again, you're taking ownership of your personal safety as well. One thing that I do just want to make a quick note of real quick is that we do have a little chat box and question section within the actual webinar, so feel free to throw out any questions, and we have a team of staff that are answering those questions as they can. And if we see a variety of questions that come in that are centrally themed, we'll make sure that we address those things. And so please make sure you use that chat box and those questions. Keep them coming. And then we'll also have some question and answer time at the end as well, where you can answer, or you can ask those questions within that chat box too. Next, we want to talk a little bit more about safety and talk about weapons here on campus. So we do not allow any weapons inside the residence halls. Specifically, we want to address the guns that people might think about bringing to campus or bringing to college. That might be for recreational use. That might be that you're a hunter, or that, again, you might be bringing a bow because, again, you want to go hunting. Those cannot be stored inside the residence halls, but you can work with our Mines Police Department, and they have a check-in and check-out process over there that if you want to store them over there, you can do that as well. We also don't allow any sort of weapons on campus or any campus events. The only thing that is allowed here on campus, but not within any sort of campus events or housing areas, are concealed carry permits. And so if you're interested in pursuing that, please go through the proper protocol for that. You can talk with our Mines Police Department by calling them directly. Their phone number is 303-273-3333, and you can ask any questions that you have about anything along those lines. But again, inside of any housing area, we cannot have any weapons stored. Again, some exceptions to that are a small Swiss Army knife. Those kind of things are fine, but when you get into the large knives or the bows or the shotguns or things like that you're going to use for hunting, you have to store those over at Mines Public Police Department. Additionally, we want to address some of the alcohol, drugs, and drug paraphernalia that we have in terms of policies here on campus. As you know, we live in a town that has a very large brewery here in town, Coors. So we know that is something that is very present within our community, but we also want to work with students to make sure that they're making good, healthy choices. Please note that you cannot have any sort of alcohol, drugs, drug paraphernalia inside the residence halls. Again, you might know that, again, we have marijuana laws here in Colorado that allow folks to have recreational use of marijuana or medical marijuana. Again, those cannot be stored inside the residence halls or any part of campus at all. We receive federal funding, and so we continue to oversee federal laws, and marijuana is against federal law. And so please know that we do not want those here on campus. You can't even bring your pipe or your bong or something along those lines and store them in your rooms. please leave those at home or don't purchase them when you come to campus here, and store them in your room. Again, those are violations of our policies, and we take very strict approaches to making sure that those are not on our campus. And again, we want to make sure that you know good, healthy choices when making those sort of choices when it comes to alcohol and drugs. And so, again, our resident assistant staff or other staff members across campus might do different programs along those lines, so you can learn more about making healthy choices around that. All right, kind of shifting gears a little bit and talking a little about billing and what you can expect. All your housing and dining charges will be placed on your account no later than August 8th. So again, you can expect all those charges to be on your Trailhead account. So log into your Trailhead account and you can see all the housing charges and dining charges that are on there. If there's any sort of issues with that, please let us know and send us an email at housing@mines.edu and we'll try to address those quickly. But note that again, those will be on there no later than August 8th. Again, we bill by semester, so you can expect the fall semester to be on August 8th, but then the spring semester will bill you in the first week in January. So know that that will not be on your bill for the entire year, but we'll just bill by semester. Additionally, you can go in and change your meal plan within the first week as you come to campus. So if you change your meal plan, that will impact your bill. So we want to make sure you know that we'll send you an email once those meal plans have been changed, and we've changed that on your account. And you'll need to go in and make sure that, again, you take care of all those issues when it comes to meal plan changes as well. With that being said, I'll shift it back over to Mary to talk about the move-in process.
I get to do all the fun things.
Yeah.
So move-in day is, we have 2 move-in days, like I said before. One is the 16th of August, so if you are a part of a theme learning community or if you are one of our international students coming in, the 16th of August is when we will be expecting you to come in. The 18th of August is when all the remaining students who are not part of those programs should be here on campus, and you'll have that day to move in. Bring your parking pass with you. It's also available on the movein.mines.edu website, or it was given out at orientation, so if you have that, but bring that with you. It's how, we know which cars are supposed to be here on campus and how to get a hold of you if we need to because of parking. It becomes a little bit of an issue sometimes. Move-in crew, we have like hundreds of people that will literally swarm your car when you pull up and empty it and take your things to your room for you. Students, if you have more than one person with you helping you move in, one of those people needs to stay with the car while the other one can go with your stuff into the building. You, yourself, the student, will go to the check-in table at your hall, and that's where you'll get some of your paperwork that you need to fill out, and then you'll fill that out in your room, come back to the table, and we'll give you your keys. So again, parents, guests, anybody who's helping you move in, someone has to stay with a car while it's being unloaded, and then you can move it to a parking lot. Where it's unloaded is only a 15-minute zone because there are so many folks who need to move in that day. So please be courteous to everybody else and take your car, stay with your car. We'll unload it really fast for you, and then you can move it to a more permanent space on campus. If you would please do us the big favor of labeling your belongings with your name and room number. This can be as easy as a big piece of tape with just last name and room number on it so that those folks helping you move in know exactly where to take your things. We also, Mines Market is open that day for lunch, so please join us for a good lunch that day. Everyone's welcome, parents, families, everybody. We have some other important dates coming up for you in the next slide. So these also have the move-in dates for, and they also have Ore Digger Camp. So August 18th through the 21st is Ore Digger Camp. This starts at 5 p.m. on the 18th, and you are required to attend Ore Digger Camp activities. There are a lot of important things that are talked about throughout those few days that will help make you successful and help make you so you feel like you know what you're doing when you get here on campus. You'll also be working with your peer mentor, and you'll get to know lots of people during that time. So please make sure that you are here and attentive and present and ready to go during that time. The 22nd is your first day of classes. We're so excited about that, and the faculty are busy, very busy getting ready for that. August 29th will be your last day to change your meal plan. So you do have that week to figure out if your meal plan works for you. Just be sure that you change it before that 29th at 8 a.m. Otherwise, you're going to be living with that one for the semester. Parents and families, November 4th through the 6th is one where we would love you to visit. If you want to join us that weekend, there's all sorts of activities on campus and the ability to see your student and kind of get to experience Minds the way they do a little bit. And then December 16th, after finals are all over, those sorts of things, we will close the halls for winter break at noon. That is the final time that you can be in the halls, is noon on the 16th. So please, please, please plan your travel plans before that. We ask students that you actually depart campus within 24 hours of your last final. It just helps us close the halls more efficiently, so please be thoughtful about that December 16th at noon time. We will reopen again on January 8th in 2017, so we want you to have a fabulous winter break, and we will reopen again. We are not open during any break period, so or rather, we are open for most breaks. We are not open for winter break. So there will be no one here. So everyone needs to go on the 16th and come back on the 8th, and we'll be ready for you. Next, speaking of dining, we talked a little bit about dining, but I wanted to highlight some of the things about our dining services for you all in the next slide. Okay. This is just to give you an idea of all of our dining services that are available on campus. The organization that we work with, Sodexo, is a fantastic organization. They make sure that you all have fabulous options for what you eat. Minds Market is our all-you-care-to-eat dining facility, so it's open. We have lots of stations that can adhere to any whim that you might want, from everything from a grill to a fantastic salad bar to always delicious wood-fired pizza all the time. The periodic table is more like our, what's the word I'm thinking of? Anyway, you have lots of stations where you can go and get different food a la carte. So there's the Wow Cafe that has like sandwiches and wraps and some of the best french fries I've ever had. And Habaneros is similar to like a Qdoba, or it has great burritos, some really good tacos, and a really good quesadilla there. We also have Starbucks located in the periodic table, and Elements is our convenience store. So Elements has everything from fresh sushi, which is fabulous, to any soda you could imagine, and Cheetos. I like the Cheetos. So all those are available at Elements for you. And then Subway and Jamba Juice, those are located in our Student Recreation Center. Subway is open a lot of the day, and you can stop by, get a sandwich. And then Jamba Juice is great if you want a smoothie heading into another class or something like that. Also in our CTLM building, which is one of our classroom buildings, is Einstein Brothers Bagels. A lot of students will grab that on their way to class with a cup of coffee, and that'll hit the spot. And then we have Blasters Brew, which is proudly, they serve Starbucks. It's a little mini Starbucks in Brown Hall, so you can also get your coffee fix there as well. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to use your meal plan that will be on your blaster card. So your meal plan is on your ID, hence do not lose that. There are limited hours during break periods just because there are so many fewer students here, and they do close over winter break. So just be thoughtful about your break periods and what your plans are. You can use your meal plan in 4 different ways. So at Minds Market, you use a meal swipe, and that just one swipe pays for anything that you would want to eat in Minds Market. You also have Munch Money as a part of your meal plan, and in varying degrees, depending on which meal plan you get. But that is you're able to, you can buy food for anybody you want. You can use it at any of the retail locations, so anywhere in periodic table, at Elements, at Einstein's, and at Blasters Brew also. And then we have meal exchanges, and that means that sometimes a student, maybe if they're low on Munch Money or they don't want to use Munch Money right then, if you have a Granite meal plan, you can use a meal exchange at a retail location. So, and there are certain meal combinations that are available to do that. So at Subway, I might want a sandwich and some chips and a soda, and that would count as a meal exchange. So I would swipe, it would be used as a swipe. So there are some really great, you have a lot of flexibility with your meal plan and how you use it, and you can use it the best way that serves you and meets your needs. Speaking of meeting needs, we do Sodexo, like I said, is a fantastic partner for us, and they will work very hard to meet your dietary needs in any way that you need them to. They want to meet with you one-on-one. So if you have something that you, whether it's an allergy or another dietary need, our chefs really want to be responsive to that. So please give them a call even before coming to campus, and talk with them about what you need to make sure that you can get you can eat and eat well here on campus. We do have the simple servings at the classic station at Mines Market, so this is included in the Mines Market. All the meals there, and they're delicious, they're my favorites, are free of all the common allergens. So any of those things listed there, peanuts, tree nuts, shellfish, wheat, soy, dairy, and eggs, do not even go near the food that's served at that station. So it's a wonderful way to meet needs if you have some of those bigger allergies. We always have vegetarian, vegan, and halal and gluten-free options. If something's not meeting your needs, again, please talk to one of the chefs. I've found them to be very, very responsive to any need that we've been able to throw at them. There are allergy signs at each Mines Market station, so that those will tell you if the meal contains most allergens or if it's been cooked with nuts, those sorts of things. So please pay attention to those signage, the signage that's in Mines Market. It's always there to help you. And the website has much more information on it. So the Mines Dining at Sodexo, their website is located right there at the bottom. Please utilize that. Again, get in touch with them to make sure that we can accomplish anything that you need us to. Okay, Brent's going to finish up by talking about some of those other things in the halls and around campus.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now I'm really hungry for some lunch, so thanks for talking about all the dining stuff. Let's go to the next slide here. We're going to talk about parking and transportation. So as we said earlier, all you will receive a blaster card, and you also receive an RTD pass upon checking into the residence halls if you've taken your photo during another orientation. And I'm assuming that most people in this webinar have not come to orientation, and so what you'll need to do is when you arrive to campus, you'll need to check into the residence hall, and then you'll head over to the campus living office and get your photo taken, and that's where we can get your blaster card made and your RTD pass made. The RTD pass allows you to get on all the bus and the light rail system here around the Denver metro area, and so we have a light rail station that's just about 10 minutes up the road here where you can get downtown Denver on the light rail, or you can grab a bus downtown Golden here and head downtown Denver, or get around kind of the Golden area along the bus. And so please feel free to stop on over and get a blaster card and an RTD pass if once you get checked into the halls. You also want to make sure that you get access to the Zipcar services if that's something you're interested in and not bringing a car to campus. There's a rental car here on campus that you can rent by the hour or by the day, again called Zipcar. You can Google Zipcar at Mines, and then you can specifically register for a Mines Zipcar fob, and then once you're a member, you can then activate that fob a couple hours in advance, or a couple days in advance, or a couple weeks in advance, where you can set up that car to be reserved for your needs. And so again, if you're heading downtown Denver, or you want to go somewhere just over at Carl Mills Mall to pick up a few groceries or something along those lines, you can use that Zipcar. But you can also head to the mountains in it, or do something fun around Colorado or whatnot. So feel free to utilize Zipcar services. And then also, if you have any questions about parking, this presentation was meant for an orientation, so it says that there'll be a table at the resource fair. They won't be here on the webinar today, but you can contact parking at Mines, and they'll be able to answer all the questions you have about your parking. And again, parking for first-year students is very limited, so you either had to be a part of the waiver process, or you had to be a part of the lottery process to be granted a parking permit. So if you're bringing a car to campus, make sure you go through parking services, and it's very clear that you've been accepted or approved to bring a car to campus, whether through the waiver process or through the lottery process. Another thing that gets a lot of questions, usually as you're arriving to campus is, what am I going to do for housing for next year, beyond the first year? Because we guarantee you housing in the first year, we'll make sure that that's good to go. But then after the second year, it's really up to you. So there's a couple different options that are very popular. And again, I'll go over those here. The residence halls, we have Maple Hall. We have upper class communities, our returner student communities, that we put both upper class students and transfer students on those floors. And again, those are limited to only about 75 to 100 students. Then we also have apartments at Mines Park. Those are our upper class apartments and graduate student apartments and family housing apartments. And initially you can sign up for a 10-month initial lease, and then the second year you can go do a 12-month lease where you can live there year-round. And again, those apartments are run by the institution. We have student staff members up there, a community director and a community assistant. We also have a residence life coordinator that's assigned to that area, Kevin Caputo. And again, a lot of interest, usually year in and year out, for both apartments and for the residence halls returning in that second year. So again, please be on the lookout sometime in the fall for those important dates. Typically, we're doing sign up in January, February timeframe for the following year. So just make sure that, again, in the fall semester, you pay attention to those emails and all the marketing we'll have about signing up for housing in the second year for both the apartments and the residence halls. Moving forward. You also have the option, if you want to be a part of Greek Life and that's your jam, you can be a part of Greek Life. And so, one, you have to be an active member to live in one of those homes, but again, Greek Life could be an option for you. And we also know that we're not going to be able to serve every student that wants to live on campus. And so we have an off-campus resources page under residencelife.minds.edu. And again, there's a variety of resources on there, from property management companies to apartments to an e-bulletin board where you can look on the latest postings if someone wants to rent a house or needs a roommate, so they can post on those sites as well. So again, please check out our off-campus resources page if that's something that you're interested in as well. So this kind of wraps up anything. If you all have any questions or anything along those lines, so we'll just stay quiet here for a few minutes and see if you have any questions. Again, use that question and chat box, and we'll try to assign those to the appropriate people to start answering those right away. Mary, do you have any other things you want to add?
No, not right now. Just happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Great. We are seeing a few trends about, just clarification on winter break. Winter break, yes, our residence halls do close, and so there is very limited options in terms of housing here on campus. So please make sure that you plan to live off campus, or again, work with your residence life coordinator. If you're an international student and living in Maple Hall, that could be an option for you as well. But we have very limited winter housing, and it's not usually open. So. Another thing we're seeing is, what is the campus living office? That could be another thing to clarify. The campus living office is one central office for the residence life, residence life and housing, dining, and also the Blaster Card office. It's actually over in Elm Hall, but there is not one campus living office for every residence hall. So there's one campus living office for the campus. So head over to Elm Hall when you get checked in, and we'll make your Blaster Card. It's on the south side of campus, over at 18th and Elm, and again, right in Elm Hall, the residence hall over there. But it's open to everyone, even if you're not living in Elm Hall.
Brent, I think we're getting some questions about packages for people who accidentally sent them really, really early. We have the ability, anything that came in, we've held. It may take us a little time to get to you immediately upon your arrival. I don't know if we're going to have the staff to be able to do that, but we have held anything that came too early. We didn't send it back, but we have hopefully put a stop to now folks getting their stuff in too early. We just have so many people living with us, and so little space to store things that it's almost impossible for us to do that. So please, please, please do wait until the 12th before you mail anything. We will get it to you in your hall at your address. If you put the correct address on it, then we will get it to you. Otherwise, just make sure, if you're sending things, make sure that 12th is the date that you can get it to us.
Also, another thing that's coming up pretty consistently is about the parking pass again. Again, we do not oversee parking services, so please contact parking services at Minds and they can answer any questions, but I'll try to answer this one. Where do they get their parking permits, and where can you pick those up? Again, once you get to campus here, you'll be able to stop by parking services and pick up your parking permit down at parking services, and that's down at the facilities management building, kind of on the north side of campus. Right along West Campus Road area. And so please contact parking services. You can, I think, register for your parking pass online, but you don't actually print off a parking pass and bring it to campus here. You actually have to stop by the parking services office and actually pick that up there. An important clarification for your blaster card, if you did get your blaster card made during orientation, that will be available to you when you're actually checking into the residence hall. That along with your RTD pass. But if you've not come to orientation here in the summer and didn't get your photo taken, you will need to come over to the Campus Living office for that photo. So. Again, we're getting a lot more questions about parking. Again, please check out the parking site for costs and payment and all those kinds of things. Again, that's parking@mines.edu.
Okay, Brent, we have reusable water bottles. Should I bring? Yes, please, 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 please. We really encourage sustainability here on campus, and buying a bunch of little water bottles is not as sustainable as you would imagine. I'm sure you won't imagine it is. But yes, please, we have all our students utilize a water bottle the vast majority of the time that they are on campus, so please bring those to campus. We also had a question about the size of knives to bring. This is located in our handbook, which is updated on the website if you want to check it out, but anything small, anything larger than a 3-inch blade is way too big to have in the halls. So like Brent said, a Swiss Army knife is really what we're hoping that if you have that you'll keep, you're allowed to keep that in the hall. Anything else that would be used for any other reason aside just being a handy little knife would be too big to keep in the halls, or a kitchen knife, you could use that for like a kitchen butcher knife, too big. A kitchen like paring knife or a smaller 3-inch blade is fine to have on campus.
And a point of clarification about the parking pass for orientation and move-in. Yes, you need to bring the parking pass that was emailed to you. It's also, if you did come to orientation, that should have been in your packet. And then it's also on the movein.mines.edu app. You can click on that link and you can actually download just the move-in day orientation parking pass. So we do need you to bring that one, but that is different than from your academic year or when you're actually living here on campus full-time. That's where, again, you'll need to work with parking services on getting your more permanent parking pass. So again, bring your parking pass for move-in day. That's that orange sheet of paper if you came to orientation, or it's the parking pass that you can download and print just for orientation at movein.mines.edu, and it also has been or will be emailed to you as well. Another common question that we're getting is bike storage and cost, and so we do have outdoor bike storage that's at no cost. You can also store your bike inside your bedroom, but if you do want to enter yourself into a lottery once you move in, we do have bike storage rooms and storage lockers inside of Elm Hall. The traditional halls has bike storage only, and then we also have Maple Hall that has bike storage as well, and also Weaver Towers has bike storage. And so those are $85 per semester. And so again, that will be added to your student account once you've been awarded that. But if you are interested in doing an indoor bike storage, an indoor bike or indoor locker, you can certainly get with the front desk staff at the residence hall that you're assigned to, and you can enter yourself into that lottery, and then we'll get that done in the first couple of days, and you'll be notified if you've been awarded one of those bike or storage lockers.
Brent, we're seeing some questions on what kind of programming we do. Actually, the programming that we do is varied within the halls and kind of outside the halls. Like I gave some examples of rock climbing and Quidditch and those sorts of things, but we do also program. Again, like Brent said at the very beginning of the webinar, we believe that you will learn here in the halls here on campus, and we believe that learning is something that you should do anywhere that you're on a college campus. So we bring educational programs to you as well, so programs that will help you explore kind of your relationships with other people, explore who you are a little bit. We bring programs that have to do with current events. We will be doing some political programming leading up to the election this year for our students who are American students who can vote. So things like figuring out kind of where you lie on the spectrum of figuring out where your political affiliation is, to watching some of the debates that take place on campus and discussing about those. So we try, anything that we can do to help our students be more civically engaged and more engaged in the world around them. That's what we're going to work for you. So that's the type of program that we do. So it's on campus, it's off campus, all sorts of it.
Let's see here. There's some questions about the construction over at 19th and Elm area, and so we do want to make sure that you note that as you start to come to campus on move-in, whatever day you're moving into, please note that there is some construction happening at 19th and 6th Avenue, and then also 19th and Elm. We believe that the 19th and Elm project, which is the roundabout that's being constructed, will be completed by the 10th, and so hopefully that won't impact too many of the students that are coming to campus. The 19th and 6th Avenue construction will be going on through fall of 2017. Yes, I said fall of 2017, so that will be going on for some time. But they have a fairly good process moving traffic along pretty quickly, and so you can feel free to come in that way. But under the movein.mines.edu app, we have some alternative routes that if you want to avoid those construction areas, you certainly can. And so again, use that movein.mines.edu app, and we'll provide you clear guidance on where you can actually get to campus from where you're coming from. So that movein.mines.edu app was recently updated this past weekend so that when you click on the route that you'd like to come or the building that you'd like to come to, you can actually enter in your address or your information of where you're driving from, or you give it to your driver if you're coming from the airport or something along those lines, and you can make sure that, again, they know using Google Maps how to get directly to that specific building. So feel free to use that movein.mines.edu app. That'll be super helpful, hopefully, once you're coming to campus. And again, if you want to avoid the construction, use the alternative routes in there.
Brent, we have a question about room keys and locks. Your Blaster card is your access into your building, so that all of our buildings are on the Blaster card system. So you'll just swipe your Blaster card near the pad on the doorway, and it'll unlock the door for you. Your room itself is on a physical hard key, so that key will be issued when you move in, and it's your responsibility to keep track of that key throughout the year. We will collect those again at the end of the year. Please, please, please keep track of that key. It's important. It's also expensive to replace. So if you lose it, you will be in charge of replacing that key, so for the safety of the whole community and for you and your roommate. So please note that you will be given a key. It's a big responsibility, one of your first responsibilities on campus, so make sure to keep track of that while you're here.
I think there's been some questions about voter registration since that was mentioned a little bit. One thing that we'll make sure that we have here on campus as we get closer is that we'll have some voter registration volunteers here on campus, so you can ask them all the questions that you have about where do I need to be registered to vote in order to vote and those kind of things. So we'll make sure that we have plenty of resources in September here on campus for you to answer or get all those questions answered for you. So we'll make sure, again, we have resources for you about that. So.
Yep, we've invited a nonpartisan group to come to campus, so they'll be tabling, so students watch out for them if you haven't already registered to vote. If it's important to you to register to vote where your home is, so where you consider to be your home, register before you come to campus. So if you're not from Colorado, or if you want to make sure that you're voting for your local elections, then make sure to register before you get here, just so you know, just so you can get it taken care of. You can also register to vote here when you get here. That's just something that you might consider taking care of before you come to college.
There was a question about the movein.mines.edu site. Could you go over the exact steps to find the parking pass? And so, yep, once you go to movein.mines.edu, it's actually the fourth bullet point down, and it says download the move-in parking pass. And so when you click on that, that'll open up a PDF, and you can actually print that off and bring that to campus, put that in your dashboard once you drive onto campus, fill out the information obviously before you put it in the dashboard, and then we'll make sure that that is all square and good to go. We'll have the information we need. So again, movein.mines.edu, it's the fourth bullet point down on the main site and it's download the move-in parking pass.
This parking pass, I just want to note, the parking pass is good for move-in day, and that is it. So it will not, it's not your parking pass for the year. It's just for move-in day for your helpers to help get you in and park and then go home.
Yeah, and also that same thing about move-in parking passes. If you are bringing more than one car to campus, that's okay. But please just make sure, yes, you print off 2 of those parking passes and have one for each car. So if you are bringing a U-Haul or some sort of trailer to campus, we will ask that you try to park over in lot K. That is also on the movein.mines.edu site and how to get to all that. And so please make sure, just pay attention when you come to campus where you're putting those cars and all that stuff. We'll also have lots of staff available to answer any questions as you come up to campus and lots of volunteers. So again, as you come to campus, don't feel nervous or anxious about where am I going to park my car, what am I going to do. We'll make sure we have lots of staff around to answer those questions for you too. It was clarified too that again, try not to fill up a U-Haul truck. That is too much stuff to bring to campus.
Too much.
So
too much.
try to fit everything in a car, and that'll be the most appropriate thing probably to bring. It'll also probably make your roommate very happy that you didn't bring a whole U-Haul truck or trailer to college. So yes, you'll find out that we have a lot of things here on campus, and we'll have lots of resources for you. So again, don't feel like you have to bring everything from home.
For most students, less is more, and they find out that they don't use a lot of the stuff that they bring. So just be thoughtful about the things that you use most and bring those.
The other thing that was coming up was billing information and where you can actually get onto this. And so again, you're going to want to go to trailhead.mines.edu, log into your Trailhead account. I believe it's under awards and account information that once you get into there, then you'll be able to access all your information and what's actually on your bill. So please make sure, again, trailhead.mines.edu. If you have any further questions about that, send us an email and we'll try to point you in the right direction. These are all really great questions. Nice job, everyone. If you also have some questions about orientation and whatnot, please make sure, again, under the movein.mines.edu app, we have a link directly to the summer orientation schedule, so you can take a look at that and see what's required, when our parents come in, when our parents asked to leave, some of those things. So again, feel free to utilize that schedule that's on the summer orientation site. And again, you can get to the summer orientation site by going to movein.mines.edu, and we have a direct link to the orientation site from there.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate the blaster card because we're still getting some questions about that. But you will, if you have come to an orientation and taken your photo, then your blaster card will be at your hall where you will check in. So you'll get your key to your room, you'll get your blaster card, everything. If you have not been here for an orientation, we have not taken your picture. So you will need to check into your hall, and then one of the first step that you'll make right after that is to come to the campus living office, which is located in Elm Hall. You'll come to the campus living office and take your picture, and we'll print you out a card right then. So it's not the end of the world if you haven't done this yet, but it is something that you'll want to do right away as soon as you come to campus.
I was notified earlier today that Trailhead might be down, so if you're trying to log in right now, Trailhead might be down for some technical issues that they're having with it, so maybe try a little bit later on this evening or tomorrow, and you might be able to log in. So that's probably not something specific to one person. I think it's generally noted that there is an issue of getting into Trailhead generally today for students. So again, try to check it tonight if you're not able to get in now. All right. Well, I think that we're going to ask you to fill out a little poll for us as we wrap up here. And if you do have any other questions as we wrap up, feel free to send us any questions at housing@mines.edu or call us at 303-869-5433, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And again, I'm going to launch this poll. If you wouldn't mind just giving us some feedback, that'd be really great. Or if you have any feedback after this and want to send it to us at housing@mines.edu, that's totally fine as well. We'll also, again, put this recording online so everyone has it. So if you want to come back and rewatch it, feel free to do that. Or if you have a friend that
Yeah.
wasn't able to make it, we'll also put it on the website and share the link with them. And we'll promote this through the Mines email address. We'll promote it through social media. So again, it should be very clear on where it is.
Yeah, just to reiterate, go back and check the webinar. We went through a lot of information that I think we're still having some questions on, so you just might have missed it because we're going so fast. But please go back to that webinar, this webinar, and check and see if we can answer any of those questions through that. Otherwise, we're happy to answer them outside of it.
Awesome. One question that came in that, again, we just want to clarify, maybe some air conditioning here on campus. So all of our halls are air conditioned. The only difference being that they're air conditioned in the bedrooms and the hallways in all buildings except for the traditional halls where it's just air conditioning in the hallways. And so it's, again, not as bad as it seems, I think, right off the bat. If you leave your door open, again, while you're there, the air conditioning comes in. And again, in the evenings here in Colorado, it gets pretty cool. So you also cannot bring any sort of window-mounted air conditioners. They are not allowed inside the buildings anywhere here on campus. So again, it's usually fairly comfortable. And again, in the traditional halls are the only ones that don't have it in the bedrooms, but they are in the hallways. There is air conditioning in the hallways. So. All right. Well, Mary, thanks for your help and support today. And if there's anything that we can do moving forward, again, reach out to us, housing@mines.edu, and we'll be happy to support you. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
We're excited to have you in August.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.